What is the purpose of travel? I would like to discuss what the purpose of travel is. Now you say, this isn't primarily a podcast about travel. Why are we talking about travel? Well, I think travel ties in with some of the other key objectives of this podcast: faith, family, and business. And so when we think about travel, I think of this in a couple ways. First of all, I think travel is an amazing opportunity to build relationships with people you're already close to. Now, I would not recommend traveling as a way to fix relationships necessarily, because it can put a lot of stress on it when things don't go as planned. You can see today I am actually on a ferry traveling from England to France. And this is not the ferry we're supposed to be on today. We're actually supposed to be on a ferry a little bit to the west, but things happen, life changes. So to travel though with someone that you really love, whether that's friends or family, is a wonderful thing. You get to experience new things together. You get to enjoy the experience. You get to share memories. You get to know each other a little bit better. Even in the dead time, there's conversation that sometimes doesn't happen in the busyness of life otherwise. So I think connection with family and friends is an important one. Another reason I travel is to maybe clear my head a little bit. I think as much as I love where I live and the community that I live in, sometimes getting away gives you an opportunity to see things fresh, see things differently, see the reasons why people do things in different ways in other parts of the world. And that's not all good or bad. Sometimes that just is what it is. But I think seeing things through a new set of eyes is extremely valuable and extremely helpful. And so to me, travel does that. That is something that's really, really important. But I would also say maybe a third reason that I think about travel is that I think about travel in the sense of appreciation, particularly this trip. As I mentioned earlier, we are traveling today from England to France. And we're actually traveling close to the area in Normandy where the D-Day invasion happened. Now, we're a day behind the actual D-Day invasion, so we're traveling on June 7th. I'm recording this on June 7th. June 6th was the 80th anniversary of this. Now, my grandmother took me on a trip to France when I was about 13 years old. And one of those life-changing moments was visiting Normandy and the cemetery in Normandy. And to see the sacrifice, the incredible courage and bravery and loss experienced in defending freedom and liberating those that were oppressed has stuck with me. And it's honestly been on one of my goals to go back to Normandy since I was 13 years old. Now it's taking a little bit of time to do that, but I am so excited to be heading back. And it's almost a little surreal. Today we're traveling on a ferry, but to think that 80 years ago in a day, they were traveling on all sorts of ships, traveling back to France for some of them, or to France for the first time in their lives. Many of the American GIs that fought there had never actually been to France prior to this invasion. And so it's a cool memory. It's a time to reflect and to remember those who gave so much. It's incredibly easy for us to take for granted what we have, the freedoms that we experience. And I think when we travel, particularly to places like that, we can't help but leaving changed. We leave more grateful, we leave more appreciative, we leave more fully aware that we have been handed a legacy and we are responsible for what we do for that legacy. And so as I am heading back to France a number of years later and leaving England behind us for now, I do remember my appreciation for my grandmother, who took me to France for the very first time, and really the memories and the time we had there, the great stories that we shared for years to come, showed those early benefits of travel. I'm very grateful for my parents who took us to we traveled to a lot of places growing up. And a lot of them were sort of more nerdy places. They weren't just amusement parks or just the beach, but we went to places of history and sacrifice and valor and stories that actually build character as well as building experiences. And then I'm so grateful today to be traveling with my family to France to show my wife and my kids Normandy, the cemeteries, the beaches there, and to just take a couple minutes to appreciate those that we may never ever meet, but yet have sacrificed so much for what we experience and enjoy today. I think travel is good for your family. Travel is good for your own heart, because in travel, we build connections, we build future connections, and we build past memories. So I'd encourage you, as you think about travel, don't just go to, amusement parks, but include historical pieces in your travel, and understand and appreciate those who come before, who've sacrificed so much so that we could have the freedoms that we enjoy.